And welcome back to Let Them
Welcome
Play
back
Games.
to Nat19.
I just said Let Them Play Games.
Yeah, you did.
You totally did.
You messed up my thing. You messed up my thing by you saying the wrong thing. God damn it.
What were you gonna say?
I said Nat19.
What were you gonna say? Let Them Play Games?
No, I was saying Nat19 and you said Let Them Play Games. I was gonna continue to copy you.
Oh.
That, I will cherish that moment for the rest of my life.
You messed up me messing you
Logan,
up.
you're so tired. You interrupted me at the start of your game.
Selfish son of a bitch.
Game, but I'm standing to keep my energy up because it's easier to concentrate when I'm on my feet. And today we're gonna play some games.
Oh my
Specifically
god.
D&D. I'd like to point out to the person in the chat, technically that is not fan art. That is Sid is one of Nat19's canon artists. What do you call an artist that is canon artists?
Wow.
Official artists.
There you
go.
That
It's
took a
on our
minute, but we
taxes,
got-
people.
Today's gonna be a fun game.
Oh, we're gonna get everything we want. I'm so excited.
Okay, so our recap is going to be, you know what, I'm going to give it to someone that doesn't have full inspiration. So I'm going to roll again and determine one of those people. Alright, buddy.
Yeah, I wanted to eat.
Alright.
Yo,
Alright.
that's why I'm grateful I don't gotta do
Alright,
it. So I
Deco.
can eat.
We didn't do very much last session, really.
The stuff with Diane.
Oh yeah, that.
You want to lay down?
No.
Like, damn.
Can I still DM if I lay down? Nah, I'm good.
Fucking, just like, we get off on like a role play thing, and Logan has to be quiet for like 20 minutes, and all we fucking hear is.
Okay, but honestly, that would kind of be the best.
Yo.
Did he
No.
mention how I got threatened by a dragon?
Oh shit!
oh,
We're completely
yeah.
damn it!
I got threatened by a dragon.
Did we want to walk or didn't we want to teleport? I'm confused. Did we just teleport? I can't remember.
You just teleported.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're walking now. All right,
Yeah, we can't teleport directly into the base, otherwise Archer wouldn't be an issue.
that's fair.
It's true.
I forget. Aaron, Carrie forgets things. Shut up. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's banned.
It's banned. Critical it is.
Make sure we mark off Diane's teleport real quick.
Yes.
I'll mark you off.
Oh shit.
Okay.
But if it's gonna kill God, it's gonna be me, David.
Fuck off, he's mine!
Damn, god damn it.
Through the mountains. Can we find a secret tunnel?
Secret tunnel! Secret tunnel! Through the mountain!
Can we find a secret tunnel?
Oh, you're right. What a distinction. No.
We're not outdoor mages. We can't survive out here.
We're not out.
Fucking, they're all just like really out of breath, leaning on trees, throwing up because they're fucking out of shape.
So what happens?
Like,
as-
I need a second.
so the first square is going to take up 16 hours.
Well, Carrie, you wanted time to talk, didn't you, Carrie?
Well, apparently snow blindness and fucking almost dying.
You guys, after you have traveled for a while, footsteps in the snow behind you seem to stop, and for the first time in your entire time traveling this far, you see a man materialize in the snow and just angrily, "How much farther is it?" You see Saber materializing. "I've been doing my best to stay hidden like you asked me to, but this is ridiculous!"
It shouldn't be much farther.
We're probably like over halfway there, dude.
Oh, good. We're over halfway there. Wonderful. So we're only gonna mostly freeze to death on the way there.
He could consider wearing a shirt.
No, he couldn't. No, he couldn't. It's the few joys we have left. Shut up, Diane.
I'm saying that is bread.
Could wear a shirt.
Your complaining isn't really helping much.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it hurting your feelings?
Don't see Lancer complaining. Guess we know who would win, huh?
Oh!
Lancer doesn't have a weakness to water. Do you know what all of this snow is made out of? You manage to, and you're using athletics, you manage to, taking advantage of him, not caring much for the environment, slip by him as he reaches out and tries to grab you. As he, like, reaches for you, you do feel like this wave as his prana burst seems to come into effect slightly, and some of the snow is disturbed. But you manage to evade his grasp. I will say, if you don't choose to do anything back, there is an event that will happen that will probably supersede turn order. But is there anything you want to do?
I'm gonna roll for intelligence. Is what I'm gonna do.
All right.
You're not
Yeah, thank fucking God.
He's not gonna attack him.
Okay. As you draw your sword out, he turns back towards you, cracks his knuckles in a very Inuyasha fashion of, like, tensing them and cracking them into a fist. You're not even part of all of this, as far as I know. So don't you try to talk to me about... And as he steps towards you, you hear a sharp, Saber! Looking over, Orlis holding her hand out towards him. His eyes snap to her, and you see the back of her hand glowing very lightly, a command seal not being used, but her use of them, their presence being made known to him. We don't have time to argue with them. If your point is that we need to get out of the cold, I agree with you. But please don't sabotage the deal that we have going on with them. Fine. But yeah, that's my point. If I'm feeling this, even with my magic resistance, then I imagine you're all gonna start to feel it soon too, even though you're not supernaturally vulnerable to the cold.
You want to rest? Is that what you're asking?
I will point out that if you're asking for the mansion, I'm gonna have to burn my 8th level slot because I used the 7th level slot to get us
fine,
here.
then you could go to sleep,
It's
though.
fine, then we're sleeping.
Taking a long rest already? Fuck, shit.
I assume this is, like, after, like, a bunch of hours of traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
This
then
is
I'm-
after.
15 hours.
Fuck.
Are you suggesting we rest?
Yes. If it were just myself and Lancer and Suzume trying to get there, then we would be able to move much faster than the lot of you and this wouldn't be an issue. But since we have to move at a human pace, then we need to take time. And we need to make sure we don't exhaust ourselves before we get there or freeze to death.
I fucking love him.
Such a little weenie.
I know.
Jean mainly just went into the kitchen, looked at the stuff to make malts with, did not make malt.
Oh my god.
Takes a bit of the more alcoholic beverages that are there that we've all seen.
Oh, Sean, are you okay?
Takes one down,
Fucking.
pours
Got
him a
in
drink,
second.
shoots it back, and then goes to his room.
The atmosphere is weird here today.
You feel a very faint, almost breeze move by you, and you hear the jingling of very small chains coming from inside the room.
It's a fucking ghost.
It's a fucking ghost. It's a spooky ghost.
Who's there?
Suzume materializes in. Are you all right?
Rough day. I'm fine.
Because of Saber or because of the dragon?
As much as I'd like to say Saber, I feel like I could handle that better. Sits down.
She takes a blanket off the bed and moves it over and like puts it around you. How are you coping with the cold?
I can deal with it. I have some things for it. I shouldn't have to worry about it tomorrow.
I actually wanted to ask you something. Why are you still here?
What do you mean?
I can understand the individual reasons that you have found to stick with these people, but it seems like you find rationalizations for why you're sticking with them. You once worked as an incinerator with the Dial clan, and now you're going in against them, even if you're only aiming for one of them. And as soon as that dragon asked you for its assistance, you took it on good faith for the most part. And you're even trying to help it accomplish what it wants. Not that I don't understand being pragmatic about it. I'm wondering why it is you seem to go out of your way to accommodate everybody that asks you for help.
I mean, why else? The dragon said that if I didn't do what he said, then he was gonna haunt me. Until I died. I mean, that's a reason, right?
Like I said, I understand from a pragmatic point of view why you're doing it, but if you had left before this, you wouldn't have gotten involved with that dragon. It wouldn't have felt a need to contact you. From what I understand of having watched you for a very brief period of time, you originally had just made a deal to try to save the members of the Dial clan that had gone missing, and then you said you wanted to help repay a debt. That debt has more than been repaid. You helped to retrieve Lancer. Is there something else?
A few things, but I know what you're gonna say. I know what anybody would say if I said this, but I have a debt that I cannot repay.
You came back here and out of retirement to help the incinerators. So I assume, is it tied to them? Perhaps it has something to do with the fact that in your absence several of them died. When I was summoned, there was a different group. You weren't there with them. And though I don't know much about them, I heard the echoes of the last thoughts of two different people when I was summoned. People that I assumed died during the ritual. I assume... well, I guess.
You assume right. You don't have to say it. Please.
Don't you think that by saving Darius, and by helping to kill Il Calciatore, don't you think that you've squared up your debt with them?
Never. I don't know if me being there would have changed anything.
You know, for a few days now, since shortly before that whole party debacle, I've found that I've had, how to put this? I've had something of a fixation on you compared to the others that I haven't been able to explain very well to myself. At first I thought I was just reacting to you being kind to me, and I think that's part of it. But I think when I look at you, I think I must see what Master Goro saw in me. You seem to just get passed around as a weapon. You think that your presence will fix problems, and you think that if they had been armed with you, you might have been able to change things. But at your core, you don't seem to want to live that way. If this is what he saw when he looked at me, then I understand why he thought it was a sad sight. It upsets me that I can't say that I think you're wrong. Maybe you could have changed things.
I wasn't planning on fighting the Dial clan until this morning. I was just there so I could show Castor your sword.
I think leaving that with you has been a mistake. That weapon will persist after I'm gone. And I think that as long as you hold it, you're doomed to continue living as a weapon. As long as you hold it, it will wield you. I'd hate to see you reduced to that.
Suzume, you're wanting to prove something to Castor, right? You're wanting to show him that your way of thinking is right. Or that at least it deserves something, some sort of mention, right?
I want him to admit that sometimes he's wrong. I want him to be wrong about at least one critical thing. Otherwise, my entire way of living was a waste, and I might as well have not have been born to begin with. The way I spent my entire life will have been for nothing, if he's right.
Whenever you said that you saw something or was drawn to something, I think it was the same. Castor, when he saw me, he said that he approved of me, but I didn't understand why. Like you said, I always have felt like I'm a weapon. I want to know. I need to know that he's wrong too. Give me 1 second.
Okay, I can hear what's going on in the background. That's probably
There's some shit going on. That's probably what's happening. Yeah, it's a good call.
what. All right, well he's doing that. What else is going on in the mansion?
I feel like that's gonna go the whole thing, and y'all just finish what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm back.
There
See,
you go.
I saved enough time. That's all right.
Yeah.
So, I was an accessory to somebody else's legend, or rather, I was so insignificant in history that my actions were attributed to my weapons as opposed to me. The path that you and I walk is not one that I would recommend for anybody. You will leave behind no memories that people will look back on fondly, not in the end. I hope that we can prove Castor is wrong. I hope that we can find some hole in his logic and make him prove that weapons are necessary and that the people that wield them are not simply tools. Because otherwise, people like you and I forfeited.
Everything.
And I don't want to go back to sleep thinking that again. I think I've said about all I can say. I'm going to go make sure that the Saber Servant doesn't suddenly decide to go ballistic and kill everybody over chilly weather. I imagine he must have some idea of what's going on, and maybe it bothers him. Or maybe him testing you is his way of showing you that he does value you. Otherwise, it seems like he would just dismiss you.
Suzume, I know that saying this will probably have the opposite effect of what I want, but I don't plan on being like this my entire life. The thought that this thing will persist beyond the war, it's actually really comforting. I like remembering my friends.
If when this is all said and done, you choose to remember me with that, I will consider us to never have been friends. And she dematerializes. What's everybody else doing?
David would like to go to his room and cast scrying.
Sister?
Oh,
Yeah.
no! Oh god!
At this point, casting it on your sister, the sensor picks up that she's in a motel somewhere. She's laying on a bed. She appears to be relatively undisturbed.
Is it one of those lewd motels?
In good condition.
Ew, dude.
No, it is not. It looks like wherever she is, the sun's just coming up. It is not snowing up a storm wherever she is. Looking out the window of the motel, you do see the same car she was in before is outside. You do not pick up any sign of Jules in the room that you're currently scrying on, but that doesn't mean he's not there. But it is evident that Jules seems to be moving her. You see, like, through the bandages, like, the muscles around his eyes are flexing as if his eyes are moving around.
Kids, I'd like to tell you that the voices in my head stopped one day.
Don't know if that's you. And if it is, I can't say very much. But we're safe. I'm not going to say where because I don't know if that is you. But we're safe.
I just imagine he does this every time he can't see some.
I don't know who that is, but we're safe.
I was just
Another
dropping
one
off
goes
the
to the
room
next
service,
down.
sir.
Goes over to the next down. Another one pops up. I don't know who you are. A lot of people looking for me lately.
We're safe.
We're safe. Unless you're an assailant. Then we're fucking dying of super space polio and you don't need to come looking for us. I dread the answer. But Ian and Lancer, do you guys have anything you want to do before this rest expires?
I was literally standing in the kitchen. I'm holding a hot chocolate, which I will consider drinking.
All right.
Drink it.
Just stops on way to kitchen, way to room, turns to Lancer. Well, no, I have to see you try it at least once.
See, now he's not gonna do it, Brad. Good job.
But yeah, Ian's real sad right now, so he's just gonna make swift alchemy in his room, make a couple potions.
So fucking sad.
Also,
Swift alchemy, more like sad alchemy.
I and David weren't done, but whatever.
Depression
Shut the fuck
alchemy.
Your
up.
tears make the potions more potent.
They're fueled by my sad.
They probably have some demonic
Dad
aspect,
taught
which
me
makes it
this.
canon. Fucking, you like are crying at some point after realizing you're a demon, and like your tears burn through the floor, and you're like, I can't even cry without hurting something. Ah!
Side note, how did I not notice my tears did that?
I'm like 22 and I cry a lot.
Note to self: acid-proof pencils and notepads. Potion of
healing
water
potions
breathing.
are-
Yeah, that is an uncommon potion. So.
No, I'm making supreme healing potion.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
he's not
sorry.
making water
Oh,
breathing.
jeez. I don't know why my brain went there. Okay, yeah, sure.
Because it's tired.
So
Because
two
my
of
brain
those,
is
so
tired.
that's yes.
It's
all
so
good.
tired.
6,000 from
I guess I
me.
thought you'd say water breathing because that's what I expected you'd say. So my brain was just like, "That's what he said. Go to sleep."
Don't worry about it. You're thinking
I
about
feel-
Red Bull real loud, Logan.
I feel confident that we can get through it without drowning, and I don't want it to be a situation where. So here's who Ian thinks should live.
So, future Stewie, if any of us drown even a little bit, I need you to take that audio and fucking put it right when we are drowning. I feel confident that we're not gonna drown. Oh no, I'm drowning!
Like,
Anyway,
Okay.
fucking still in the room with David, right?
Damn you and your
Yeah, I know that you're sad. I'm gonna let him be sad.
no,
There's
you're
such
like-
a fucking sad energy in game today. It's like, oh.
You guys
I
know
know.
you don't need to. You don't need to have massive character moments every time the mansion is made. You know that,
Ridiculous.
right?
What do you
When else would we have these moments?
Diane's like, it's a
In the middle of
mansion.
a
Like,
fight.
we're just trying to like heckin' help you not have to DM so much, Logan.
Oh,
It's true. You're sleepy. We're trying to help
we're just
you.
trying to make sure
Shut
that
up
you're
and fuck your D&D boyfriend.
we make it to
Fucking-
that January date.
At some point, I'm gonna have to be like, so Sid, I need a different thumbnail for this week. The fight didn't happen.
Oh no. Hey,
Uh-huh.
can I ask you something?
Sure.
Cool. So, back there, when Jean was talking about how he wasn't gonna fight and stuff, horseshit, by the way. You kind of said something about how you weren't supposed to kill a certain member of the Dio clan. I'm guessing that's a whole thing with your new contract?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. A thought?
Mhm.
Where?
Maybe tell us some of the stuff that you have to do so that we could help you, or at least know what you're doing.
Sure.
Part of telling the truth isn't just not lying, you know?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I've got a list here.
Okay.
It's intimidating.
All right.
So, I get to. I
Dude, she
have
like
to-
sits like cross-legged on the bed, like super excited, like, okay, what do you got?
All right, this one's already done. I had to neutralize the Demon Lord Alquam. We have to, or at least I have to be involved in neutralizing the Black Dragon Mukunkage, which is currently trying to restore itself to flesh.
Okay, so that's the
Yep.
that's the Jean
dragon he talked to,
dragon.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
And then there's, I have to neutralize the Titan's Hand, a clockwork elemental bound to Olafanin.
Okay.
We're also in the process of.
Kind of
So,
in the
we're
process of
doing
all
that.
of these. I mean, yeah, like you're like checking through this list like crazy. Like, go on.
And then I have to neutralize the Star Spawn previously aligned with Aldrich Loring. I have no idea what a Star Spawn is.
Well, I mean, like.
I thought we already dealt with
It's not like
Aldrich.
his son.
Maybe that is
It's
Super
like
Secret
Sterling's not
Bane.
even like his. Like Sterling's not even like his real son, so it can't be like his spawn. Like, that's weird. I don't know. Again, why you should maybe bring it up with all of us, because maybe someone else knows some shit about it, and we could help you.
Then I have to neutralize Akuma and Quantavius Minkraken.
Okay, I can get on board with that one.
I have to ensure that none of the Grail patrons, noted above, reach and make a wish upon the Holy Grail. and I have to ensure the Holy Grail War of the Moon Festival is completed, and that any wish is made upon it.
So, okay. So last time you had to make sure that nobody made a wish, and now you have to make sure that somebody makes a wish?
Yes.
Huh. I'm like curious. What is your wish? Because
My wish?
I think like you know enough magic and stuff now to like heal your sister, right?
Yeah.
So what's your wish?
It involves separating you, the twins, from your dad.
But wouldn't like neutralizing Akuma and stuff like that do that, or?
I don't know. I
I
don't
mean,
know for sure.
I also don't know, but you really use your wish for us?
There's nothing else I want. I don't
Should you-
live for myself, really. Is the thing.
I kind of noticed that. You need to get better at that.
Nah, it's fine. That's what the wall's for.
I swear to fucking
Kill you.
Dude, I was trying so hard not to make a joke. I was like, Logan is always like, fucking bring it back in and be in character, and fuck you, I was doing so well.
It had to be made. I'm sorry.
So, another thing I wanted to ask you, so that stuff that you said to Jean, like before the me and you stuff, about me being more open about my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like an actual thing, or were you just trying to get me to admit that I liked you?
Both.
In the spirit of that,
Uh-huh.
I would like for you to know that I really want to have sex with you. But
There it is.
but
Uh-huh.
I know that you haven't done anything like that before. And I am willing to wait until you are ready.
This
But
is why
make
we
no
play
mistake,
D&D.
I would ride you into the sunset.
Oh,
no
man.
mistake.
And in the spirit of a previously established thing where I said I won't let this go any farther than I would for anyone else, why don't we play some D&D? Oh, there goes the timer too.
That's a perfect time to cut away.
That sounds like it's time for a break.
No, I have to
fine.
save my first time for after the war.
Death flags, bitch!
I'm only 3 days from retirement, after all.
It is David's call. It's in his court, man.
All right, then yes, they did.
Oh! I got
There
it.
you go.
I got that dick.
Yeah, thus confirming his death.
I know.
Lancer, the burning question is, did you drink the hot chocolate?
Yes, of course I did.
Yeah. As you guys are moving, Lancer, you become aware of it. Saber snaps his head up. She's here. Several arrows come flying, seemingly just out of the air, attacking you guys. You're gonna have to deal with Wah!
There we go.
Those that were hit. Lancer, Isla, and Orla all get hit. Several of you, arrows come down at you. When the dust clears, you see that the Titan's hand has formed basically this large hand-like barrier. Like, bits of it have extended up and formed this massive shield over Orla that condenses back down into a gauntlet. She is completely fine. She's immune to force damage. She's golden. And Saber is gonna get up beside Orla. Both of them, by the way, are about 50 feet away still. They're not bothering to move forward because their job's not to infiltrate. They're staying about 50 feet back, keeping hold of things. Saber summons his sword. His prana burst whips around him, the fiery rainbow aura. Hey! Son Archer! Why don't you come out and fight me? Next time I'm hiding, I'll come out and meet you! You guys hear this. The arrows that were fired before are still going to come down, unfortunately, because I committed to that as part of what's going on. So as she's approaching, she's going to go for an attack. She's going to attack the people that she's already seen. I just realized the Chocobo theme has been in the background for like 5 minutes, and I'm getting rid of it.
Oh my god.
That's hilarious!
What a perfect theme.
Yeah! Miss. The only person that gets hit is Lancer. But his cover does prevent Isla from getting hit. Come out and fight me, and I'll do it for you next time! As he does, an arrow comes down and hits in front of him, damaging him. He backs up, but the blast still manages to catch him. He puts his arm up, takes it down as the dust clears. That's it. Come on out. And then the Peridot and Sun Archer. Sun Archer actually, like, holding Peridot to her waist with one of her arms, seems to land beside you guys, having just moved from where she was. Releases Peridot. You all shouldn't have come here, though you knew I was here, so nothing I can say is gonna push you back. This is your last chance to leave. I think you know I'm serious, and I'll do my job. Our job would be a lot easier if nobody tried to invade here, but I suppose there's no choice. Orla steps out between the lot of you, Moonsaber, but like behind her, posing with his sword to look as large, silhouette-wise, as he can. If you want to get them, or to stop them anyways, I'm afraid you're going to have to go through us. We'd rather not fight you either, but business is business. It'd be fun fighting a competent archer. I've got a certain grudge against their kind I'd like to settle anyways. You guys get going. I'm pretty sure we can take them on. Lancer, you, Lancer, very quickly turn, using your future sight, your foresight. You turn and you strike an arrow out of the air as it's about to hit you. Not an arrow from Sorsha. You guys see, atop the pillars, you guys see a series of what look like elves, with skin resembling the features of various seasons.
I'm gonna go here.
Yodel.
So, Lancer, you get over there. They are 20 feet up. What would you like to do?
I would like to climb up.
Humor me. Roll an athletics check.
E. Your master's leaving soon. Stating you die.
As you say that, the two of them completely pull back the. They pull back the strings on their bows, wordlessly, giving you an indication that they're not going to give up.
Full round attacks.
Go for it.
Oh.
Crowd control!
I'll be fine.
You hit both of them.
Okay.
You notice these things' bodies, by the way, are very much covered in what seem to be like leaves and such. They're very pretty. Here's an example of one of them. Look at this boy.
It's a spring eladrin.
It's true.
It's a lily. Lily, no.
So many lilies.
Lila, why are you doing this to us?
Great.
That is something you should probably try to get
Behind
out. So basically just roll one of your bardic inspirations, roll a d12, and I will subtract it from it, and if it's enough to make it not hit you, assuming it hit, you roll the one.
Come on!
So I will note that everybody that starts their turn within this sphere, which is all of you, neat, you're gonna have to do a thing. All right.
Like, really? These are the things that are gonna fucking kill us? Really?
All right. It gets back to that point. It is then going to take an attack against the only person within range is Malaclips. It's going to fire at Malaclips. Ha! It dropped a 20.
Excellent laughter.
Ha!
Oh.
All right. So it fires at you. It misses. It goes for a second attack. And hits.
Ha!
And you take 25 damage. These guys are mean. You can go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw, and you might possibly break out of Tasha's hideous laughter.
Logan, don't give me hope. It's not gonna happen. We all know this.
You gotta
It's a
try.
wisdom.
16, you beat it.
I beat a
Two arrows come down. One goes long and goes by you. The other one strikes you and knocks you out of the laughter.
Ow!
All right. And hey, just because we're here, This is, check it out. This is what they look like. Aren't they pretty?
Aw.
These are some of the prettiest elves, I think.
I really don't
Galadriel.
want to murder them all, but I have to.
They're so pretty.
I'm gonna try and open this thing, see if we can make an escape, but it looks like it might need more than one person.
Okay,
Okay.
And noting that the person that helps would have had to have, like, used their action to aid. So, if you use it now, when Isla comes over, she can't just automatically assume your assistance. Are you still cool with that?
Holy shit,
Yeah,
there's
it's
a big old
mostly
circle.
just to get the information out
Okay.
there. Oof.
Oh.
Well.
Why did you have to say anything?
Right?
You've screwed me.
Well,
That
I
was
don't
gonna
think
be
it's
like
real.
a
I think
double
it's
nat
just
20.
I think it's just painted on. Here's what that rather glorious boy looks like.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
cool.
Literally looks like right now.
I'm gonna move around here.
Okay.
That sounds good to me. And then I'm gonna do a Healy do at, I kind of want to say 3rd level.
Mm-hmm. Do you kind of want to, or is that what you want to do?
Well, I was thinking 4th level, but I'm a big girl. I can live another round. I can.
His famous last words.
I know. And then, ooh, that was not bad healing.
That's solid.
Alright.
All right.
And then I'm going to bardic inspiration the fuck out of Lancer.
All
Did
right.
that
Go
apply
ahead.
to you? Yeah, it did. I was wondering if that applied to you because you weren't targeting yourself.
Yay! I did a lot of healing on the air.
Take this, air.
And that's the end of my turn.
They pull out a long sword that, as they draw it, it actually looks like it's made of gemstone. You can tell it's a bit too solid. The core is not transparent enough, but it looks like a blade made of a synthetic emerald. It's going to go for an attack on Lancer. And it's going to do a big miss. And then it's going to go for another attack on Lancer. And a hit!
Boo.
Isla.
Okay. Which side should I go like here? Should I go like here? Should I go like here?
I mean, I don't think it matters, but opposite side probably works best.
Okay, I'm gonna go here. Okay, let's try to move a thing.
Alrighty. Go ahead and roll strength with disadvantage.
Much better.
I feel like that deserves an inspiration.
I'll grant it.
Nice.
So half of it is open. A medium creature can fit through it at a time. Looking down into it, there appears to be a ladder that goes down quite a ways. You can't immediately see the bottom.
Yeah, okay, I'll try to go down it.
And
Yeah, you guys wish you bail, and then I get it. Woo!
all right. Your
Can
turn.
attack this one here.
That one, yeah.
Okay, good, because I'm gonna attack the one that hit me.
Alrighty.
Like I'm very appreciative to it, but fuck you, because I have guns.
It's true. You do have guns.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot this one. I'm gonna move over here first.
Isla, I'm gonna move you to here. You're not actually there. I'm just gonna keep a line there that represents like where people are in the order. You are in the hole though. In the
In
hole.
the Quay way.
In the hole.
You in the hole?
Where did it come from? The hole.
Tom, have you seen my copy of 17 again? Yeah. Where is it? In the hole. Boom.
I would suggest you leave, and then I go down the hole.
Oh no.
Oh,
He's
no.
gonna cast cult.
He's
He's gonna
casting.
cast a bad thing.
He comes in there. He seems to reach into his clothing, takes out this little gem that has a spell sigil like carved onto it, cracks it in his hand, and then throws the bits forward. They expand outwards. There's this flash of blue light, and an ice storm begins to fill the area. The only Suzume is going to try to counterspell this. Spellcasting ability, probably going to beat this. Oh, she did. She turns as this thing begins to build up, and this, you guys down there, because this is a 40-foot cylinder, would have gone way down past where you are. You guys feel cold begin to build up, and you begin to shiver down the shaft. Go ahead and laugh. As this happens, Suzume turns, summons her sword, and her eyes glow for a second, and she takes one sweeping slash that seems to scatter out the storm and prevents it from building up.
Heckin'
I would have
MVP.
taken half damage. I mean, Isla would have fucking died. That's fine though.
Yeah, it's true.
This boy's gonna go. 10. 1, 2,
What if I don't want him
3,
to?
4, 5, 6.
Oh, you leave us
Pulls out a
alone.
gem, throws it over. Suzume sees that. Suzume sees that. She just lets out a. As this gem, as it looks like it's about to crack it to release the spell, she actually conjures a blade and like beside her with her magecraft and sends it hurtling over towards them. It strikes the gem in its hand and breaks it without it casting the spell. Take that, you. As you guys are fighting, you guys all feel between these two turns, a large rumble from up above. You see a huge flash, this rainbow explosion from up above the water that causes the multicolored lights to break down from up above. And then you see this hail of gear-like shadows cover it, seemingly surrounding an area and constricting it. You take that there's action going on up above you guys.
We try and do him a bap.
Do him a bap.
I gotta untarget this guy over here, though. Alright. Hiya!
That's a hit.
Alright, Eldritch Smite.
Gotcha. Hit him up.
Doing it.
Light him up, up, light him up,
Light 'em up, light 'em up.
Hearing everyone try to
That's
sync
right.
that up.
That
was
went
really-
well.
Yeah, I was gonna see hearing everyone try to sync that up over
That
Discord
was
was a treat.
so ugly. That
Light
was
him
a
up,
bad
up, 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 up.
Sorry.
Alright.
Get him.
Die! Ah! Damn it. Alright, he's prone. Boink.
Alrighty.
And then I'm gonna do him another bap.
Do it.
Hiya!
Do they? Alright, that's a hit.
And yeah!
And that one
There
is
we go.
dead. You knock it down. You take your weapon. What do you use to hit it? The short sword. You take it. You spin it around. You drive it down into the ground. You see as it reaches up for a second. You just hear it whisper like,
Thanks, Bay.
"For Peridot."
I swear to God.
And you see as its hand falls to the side, all of the color leaves the leaves on its body, and it seems to basically turn this brownish orange. Yeah, you hear Suzume call back. If you don't trust that David has this, then I do. Go on ahead. And that emerald arrow is going to go. That emerald arrow is going to continue focusing on David, because it does not care for his spells.
I like them.
Fires! It misses! It gets a 2!
Wow!
And goes for its second attack.
Second
Fires. Gets a 1!
Wow! What?
And it is going to decide that Suzume is not somebody that it cares to fight.
That's
And
fair, 'cause damn.
teleport
The more death flags I
You're way
plant.
too cute to fight.
over beside David.
Oh, hi!
Leave David alone, you monster.
Leave me alone!
Leave David alone.
Leave my David
Attack.
alone.
And not 20!
Oh, good!
It did not get any 1s or 2s. You succeed on making nat 20 on your concentration save, but you do take 27 damage.
For fuck's sake, pay attention to the rest of us. No, I'm so
Adorable.
bad at this.
As it brings
Oh,
up
that's
its
super cute.
emerald sword, it causes it to hesitate for a moment, and it stops. But and in that moment, David manages to back away before it can complete its attack. And then
Can
it
y'all
goes
just
closer.
get in the fucking hole?
2,
I
3, 4.
That's
and then,
what I told them
Then take
to
its
do.
movement to get over to
I'm
here.
waiting to go. You better be right behind us. And right before he jumps in the hole, he just turns to the Eladrin right behind him. Here, catch. Chucks a bomb.
Oh, nice. Throw bombs.
Go ahead and
Oh,
roll
yeah.
against him.
I love that it's like a nice toss too. Like here, catch.
That's a hit.
So Ian. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, potion, thank you.
If I jumped backwards, flipping them off as I dive into the hole, I would land on Malcolm's face.
So you can get down a total of 10, you can get down
Listen,
10 feet.
honey,
I'm gonna move
baby
these guys
cakes.
over here again.
It's fine.
Diane, this is
Get in the hole!
Isla.
That bitch continues going down the hole.
All right. So
Okay.
up above, there's this large ripple and wave like on the ceiling of water as something strikes the water and causes a huge impact up above. You see you hear this roar and you see what looks like this large, almost dog-like form made of fire and what looks like magma form up above the top of the water, and then several arrows strike it and destroy it. Again, just flavor for what's going on up top.
All right. Diane's only like 5 feet in, so
Yeah,
I
she's
can't get
picking
in
up the
hole
top
yet.
like, what do I do?
Fucking go!
I'm trying! Ian's ass isn't down there yet, neither is fucking Malik Club's right!
All right. So hold up. I'm going to.
I'm trying my goddamn best here. I don't control this shit.
Climb down, Diane. Do it.
Do it. You're like, fuck it.
Alright.
Given how much it's opened, you can only fit one medium creature through the actual opening, so you wouldn't be able to fit in.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Okay, that worked out.
I'm sorry.
All right.
And I think Diane will probably have problems trying to squish herself against the wall.
Yeah.
for no particular reason.
No particular
There's
reason.
no reason why, yeah.
What is that even implying, you guys?
She's got big boobs, you dick.
You dick!
I was going to say that there are problems abreast, but that's better. More direct.
All right.
All right.
And bonus action. I'm gonna healing light myself.
Did you just? Yeah,
Good
totally.
call. Yeah, do that.
You're gonna basically be their main target now,
Yep.
because
All because of Diane.
we want to pick you off. And the other... Heal him up, up, heal him up, up, heal him up, up. I feel better.
Nice.
Feel better!
All right, Isla, do you step off?
Yes, I step off the fucking ladder!
Finally!
Jean, would you like to also join her in being at the bottom?
Nah, I'm gonna stay right where I am. 'cause I
Oh,
want
you
David
bitch.
to die.
There's an audible thump as he refuses to move. As Malik
He just like
pulls.
sticks out his butt.
No, he like pulls a cord on his clothes and they just inflate like a balloon and he becomes a cork.
And then I just look up to them like, I was on the Dial Clan side the entire time.
You bastard!
You butt fucking critter.
I've had this item
Eldritch
since the
blast
beginning.
down the hole through
The-
the fucking inflatable thing.
Go ahead and kill me.
God.
You'll never kill the unmovable coat. You then see a very large shadow strike the side of it and sink down. And after a moment, you see a one of the larger cabins, a 2-story one, seems to have been completely thrown off the shore and down there and collapses down over on the side. Once it collapses, you see a large hole that, like the size of 2 creatures, seems to have been burned through it. So what are you doing, Lance?
Glad we're not
See,
fighting.
I had a moment of hope. It's like a large shadow as you just hear Berserker's back.
Fafnir just breaks down. Sterling learns to transform back into Fafnir.
Like at will.
God, please.
Give me that shit. Fucking later, I was like, I wonder if we could just get Sterling to come here with the Dragon Bombs. Let's find out.
I'm gonna grapple this one.
Okay, I'd like you to roll me an athletics check for the climbing, because he's 20 feet up. Yeah, you're good.
Nice.
Fucking, how does foresight help with grapple?
I can see where I grab where they would make me fall or where they'd slip out.
Imagine if the rationale, though, was that, like, you had low strength, and so you, like, would get tired. You're like, I foresaw that I would lose my breath, so I chose not to.
And
Bam.
I'm going to start dragging him towards the edge of the dome.
Oh, that's harsh. Roll me another athletics check. We're gonna say this is in place of another attack. 18? Okay. He sees what you're doing. He's going to roll athletics. He manages to resist that case as you drag him. He like digs his heels in, sees that doesn't work, takes his sword out and jams it into the ground to stop himself from moving. You still got 2 more attacks worth of actions if you want to keep dragging.
Yep.
Alright, go for it again.
Oh, damn. It's about as bad as it can be.
He's pulling against it, exerting so much will in this moment. He does not want to get thrown. No! Don't do it. Ugh, not like that. Oh, this one's gonna be hard to beat. He does!
Oh.
Yeah, pulling him towards the edge. He's like, no, I'm not going out like that, servant. Then that makes it David's turn.
So, all right.
How you doing, David?
Into the hole, riddled with arrows. Ow, 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 dashing down the hole.
So, David.
Yeah, man.
They destroyed your hat during that attack.
What? No! Oh my god! Oh my god! No!
The fiery arrows that had hit you, your scarf is singed and your hat was destroyed.
Does anyone have mending?
So
it is in tatters. Oh, has this changed things? Wonderful.
Yes, this changes things.
Climbs back out.
No, you son of a bitch!
All right, finally I got away. Goes back down. Second passes, comes back up. Where's my hat?
If this is how you fucking die!
Avenging your fucking hat.
It's an important hat.
Oh god!
So all of you get to the bottom.
God,
Spence, I know this is bad, but
you're fucking critical because of a hat.
A large.
You know how many hit points he has?
I noticed
like-
that he's not here. I look to the ladder. I bonus action dash up. I'm kidding.
David, at this point, looking up, you see some figure rising up, some titan-like figure that stands maybe 40, 50 feet tall, that even through the water up above you can tell has the general look of Orla's arm, of the Titan's hand, except it looks like it's created this full-body golem that seems to have Gundam style, like you assume surrounded Orla, and is currently trying to combat against who you assume to be Peridot, who you see has generated a pair of spectral wings at this point. She doesn't make contact with it. She casts some kind of magic that seems to disassemble it and cause it to crash to the ground. And you see the brief form of Archer leaping up into the air, having taken 2 slashes, pulling out an arrow, firing it down, and there's this sun-like burst of radiant energy up above, causing you to not be able to see properly anything up above there anymore.
Alright, and shapoop. There we go.
He teleports back in. It's like, where was I? And then as he turns to look towards you, a blade stabs him and energy rushes out of you to him. And how do you want to do this?
Yeah, the the energy will pulse through his blades as he runs it into his chest. The energy stored in the blade just blasts him 20 feet back as a big chunk of his chest is just missing.
Damn.
The leaves on him lose their color. Gives you this affirmative, almost respectful nod as you defeat him. The light leaves his eyes and he crumples backwards.
For your hat.
And I'll turn back and start walking towards the fucking hole. Let's go.
As you guys head back down, up above there's one final blast. Khaled Ball goes flying through the air, knocked out of Saber's grip. His body, bloodied up, collides with a tree behind him. He reels back, slumps forward. As he does, a foot comes down, drives into his chest, and Archer's great bow points at his head. Relatively untouched, Archer stands over him. Meanwhile, chunks of clockwork armor from that large titan smash to the ground as Orla tumbles down, having fallen about 25 feet from the core of this thing. Her vest shredded, her hair in a mess. No. Breathing heavily.
Told him to get her, Sorsha. I believed in you.
Peridot floats down to the ground and lands. Various multicolored familiars flying around her, several of them landing on her shoulders, the multicolored gemstone birds. She lands, tilts her head up and looks down at Orla some 15 feet away. And Orla, breathing heavily, gets up, manages to struggle up to her, just to be on her knees. Peridot looks over at the lake, sees the commotion down below has ended. We can let them go from this point on. Right? Sun Archer pulls the bow away from Saber. Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
That's what they told us to do if this happened. I'm sorry, what?
Oh shit!
The foot digs into Saber. The tree behind him cracks with the force of it as Sun Archer pushes him into it. Consider yourself lucky, Saber Servant. We don't have to kill you here. We just had to make them think that they weren't allowed to go down. All things considered, I hope that they succeed. Sun Archer nods, disappears, dematerializing over Saber. The two of them, Orla and Saber, collapse, having fought the hardest fight of their lives in that 40-second period. And they're gonna rest for a while.
I'm ready.
Thank you all again so much for all of your support for Extra Life over the course of this month. It's been amazing. There's been some fantastic, huge donations I didn't expect. Demo Serpent. Really start. But, and thank you for helping us meet the sub goal. The call to action there is mostly because we forewent bits, for the most part, in favor of Extra Life. But, thank you. We'll see you guys next week / when we play Tomb.
Yay!
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody!
I just loved and appreciated. Trademark.